Love this podcast? Support it and sponsor today. Simply head to ozcastnetwork.com for details.
Hey, Callum.
Yep.
Over the weekend, I went up to Port Elliot for a buck show, and on the way back, we decided to stop for lunch, and we thought, hey, let's go to the Port Elliot Bakery, right? It's a place that constantly wins so many awards as a bakery. It's hyped up, the lineup. It took about 10, 15 minutes just to get my pie.
Oh, 100%. You see all the pictures as well on Instagram. When someone goes to the bakery, they'll put a snap up, say, bragging that they're there, rubbing it in everyone's faces that they're at this bakery and you're not. It gets a lot of traction, doesn't it?
It really does. And I got to say, I don't think it's worth the hype.
Oh, God. God, man.
There were a couple people there because I don't think I've ever been to the Port Elliot Bakery before.
Really?
So first timer, and I was really looking forward to it. And there was a couple of people saying, "Hey, don't overhype it in your head. Just because it wins all these awards, there's better bakeries."
Well, from memory, it's got a lot of the awards like on the window there, doesn't it? They kind of flash everything around a bit.
Yes.
I feel like it is blasphemy. A lot of people will be shitted off that you said that.
Oh, absolutely. I don't doubt it.
A lot of people do love that bakery. It is one of the better ones, but interesting that you think it's a little bit overhyped. Why do you think that? What was wrong? The pie, the sausage roll, the drinks? What happened?
Look, I got a standard, steak and mush pie.
Yeah.
And it just wasn't it.
Didn't hit too thick?
Not too thick. It was like the mushroom was almost too thick, like sliced.
Right.
The pie itself, it didn't have a flake to it or anything. And I just thought, geez, this was a $10 pie almost.
Yeah.
And it's just, I've had way better,
Yeah, okay. So you're not having a gripe saying this is terrible. You're just saying, it's a little bit overhyped from how many people really rave on about it in Adelaide.
Yeah, and we are about to open up the text line, and we want to hear from you, Fresh Fam. What's the best bakery around Adelaide? But before we get into that, Callum, I want to ask you, what's your favourite bakeries, mate?
I would say I've got a little bit of a list here. I've come up with almost a Christmas list of best bakeries, I think, around Adelaide. I immediately thought of the Wakery Bakery if we're going a little bit outside.
Wakery Bakery is good.
It's a good one. It's very good. Otherwise, from that, Bakery on O'Connell, I really do like.
Yeah.
It's got the 24-hour service, which is awesome. Same with Enjoy Bakery. Good variations on the pies. Also home to the 24-hour pie floater.
Yeah, right. There you go.
Yeah. And, of course, down my way, down Ethelton, is the Red Mill Bakehouse, which is awesome. And what I do really, really want to check out...
I did only ask for two.
I love bakeries. I really do. But what I really want to check out, Fresh Brekkie host Tomo recommended me to this one. He said the Meadows Bakery around where he lives does a crocodile pie.
Yeah,
and
pie.
apparently that bakery, Meadows, does all the weirdest variations on pies. So 50 minutes from the city, definitely have to check out that one sometime.
I got to say, my absolute hands down favourite bakery here in Adelaide is Cafe de Villiers Mile End.
Yeah, okay.
I'm a sucker for that place. I was there last night.
I will not be surprised if one day you get a tattoo of that logo on your arm because the amount of times you bang on about Cafe de Villiers. And it is the hotspot, though. If you play social sport, which you do, it is the hotspot to go there afterwards, to go with friends. It is like a social outing when you go to Cafe de Villiers, isn't it?
24 hours. There was a time in my life where we used to go there after town.
Yeah, 100%.
Get a couple pies. But not only is it cheap as, it's also like that. If you don't feel like a pastry, they do so many other things. Their Eggs Benedict is unrivaled.
Unreal.
It's unrivaled, their Eggs Benedict. But I have to say, outside of the city of Adelaide, Port Wakefield, they got Kipling's Bakery. And
good one.
I've got my grandma lives up in Port Vincent on the York Peninsula, so go up there quite often. Always stop by Kipling's.
Love Kipling's last time I went, but they did have I hope they fixed it, but they did have a little bit of a seagull infestation when I was there last. And that kind of ruined the experience because I don't like birds. But other than that, food was awesome.
Yeah, well, I want to put a bit of a list together. I want to find the best bakery here in South Australia. What is the best bakery? Somebody actually texted in about the Port Elliot Bakery saying it's so overrated. It's just Instagrammable. That's why it's popular. Goolwa Bakery off the main road, Wakery Bakery, Meadows, Pick a Pie, Villiers are the best.
Hey, so once again, one of the Fresh fam here has their list set. They have their top 5 bakeries right there. I will say, Interesting point with the Meadows picker pie. Of course, I did mention that before because they do different weird variations. I've heard they do crocodile pie, things like that. And so many people on the text line have vouched for the picker pie.
About 7 people have texted through saying picker pie in Meadows. So that's gotten a very healthy spin. Might definitely have to go check that out.
Yeah, huge. And otherwise on the text line, thank you to the Fresh Fam for your suggestions. Someone said Pie Daddy. Wait, Pie Daddy says. I like how we got someone giving them the official title of Pie Daddy, but he says Banana Boogie Bakery. Haven't heard of that one.
Yeah, Banana Boogie in Bel Air. Came in from Braden Olverenella. Banana Boogie in Bel Air. Tell your mum about it.
Yeah.
Thanks,
yeah,
Braden.
good one.
I'll let her know.
Also, we have Two Wells Bakery. We have Jenny's Bakery. Wollonga Bakery also getting a good spin for their sausage rolls and donuts.
Yeah, Villies is getting a very healthy spin. Plenty of people texting in Villies on the text line. Somebody said, Villies, $10.90 brekkie combo. Best deal in 2024 in SA.
Hey, how good.
Absolutely. You cannot go wrong with Villies.
Got this one here as well that went a bit unnoticed. The Kapunda Bakery also gets a lot of spin from people.
Yeah, okay. Hey, somebody, Caroline, has texted in saying, can't go past the Lobethal Bakery. I've got to agree there. The Lobethal Bakery is very good.
Yeah, 100%. Para Hills Bakery, Balhanna Bakery. Yeah, there's so many coming through. It's all very good. Bake Bakery at Coromandel Valley. The Kranskis are wild, apparently. That's what I want to hear. Love a Kransky. I want to know the specifics. I want to know what about this bakery is great. They said the chili cheese and wrapped in bacon pastry, chef's kiss from Jack.
Jeez, there's more people texting in about Pick a Pie over in Meadows. Someone said, morning, Tom and Callum. Meadows Bakery is called Pick a Pie. On my way there now to grab a tray dog. The best value on flavours, $12 for 2 pies and a dessert. Get on it. Cheers, Gaz. Thanks, Gaz. Thanks for getting involved, mate.
Hey, awesome. There's so many right here. What about Tal and Ben Bakery? Cheeseburger pie is amazing as well.
Yeah, the My Ponga Bakery is awesome. Jeez, there's so many bakeries coming through. I want to test them all out, but this could take almost a year.
It's really flooding through. Everything's coming on. We definitely need to make a hierarchy of all these bakeries.
Yeah, absolutely. We're going to have to do it. Keep texting through Adelaide, 0428 927 927. Best bakery here in Adelaide. St. Peter's Bakery is getting a good run on the text line as well. Keep letting us know, and then Let's try and visit a few of these and really settle once and for all what is the best bakery in South Australia.
Bit of a road trip, judging by how many texts here. We're going to have to starve ourselves for a little bit over the week and then just do a massive bakery road trip over a weekend, I'd say.
Cannot wait.
Tom, hotels have seen some pretty bizarre things over the years. You know, a lot of the classic ones, rock stars having parties.
Yes.
Mysterious murders.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, no, there's a lot of documentaries, actually.
Yeah. You went from one skew to the other.
They're pretty different extremes, yes. Yeah. But, you know, both things that do happen in hotels have one that goes quite a bit unnoticed, but is equally as interesting, is the lost property boxes there.
Now, I think the lost property box anywhere is an interesting thing because you just never know what's going to end up there.
Yeah, literally. And a survey has happened from a travel company that's looked around 100 hotels across Europe to investigate what kind of weird things are left in the lost property boxes. And the vibe I get is that the weirder they are, the more, obviously, people aren't going to come back and get them. And they're almost going to be left in the lost property box for a while.
Now, is this just across Europe?
Yeah, this is across Europe only.
Okay, yeah.
And this is over 100 different hotels they've surveyed. And they did say most often a lot of things that do show up is wedding rings and personal photographs is a big hitter.
Personal photographs. What do they mean, personal photographs? Not my lockbox.
Yeah. We have here, though, it does get a little bit stranger, though, Tom. This one here, dentures are a huge one that go missing in the hotel room. So you get a lot of old people there. Teeth pop out, they can't find them, and they end up in the lost property.
This is one of those things like when you find, one shoe in the lost property or a pair of pants in lost property. How are you leaving this hotel and not realising, oh, crap, my dentures aren't in? How do you not realise they're not in?
Yeah, it's a weird one. I guess until you eat something at the airport cafeteria and then you're like, oh, crap, I can't chew this.
Uh-oh, they're in that glass of water next to the bed.
Yeah. So dentures is a popular one.
Okay.
Witchcraft paraphernalia came up a fair bit. So things like your tarot cards and, wands and, just...
Cauldrons.
Ouija boards. Yeah, I don't think as witchy as that. But
witch hats.
Yeah. Gee, it must have just been a costume party. There's a fine line, isn't there? Costume party for Halloween, or are they a sorcerer in the hotel?
Like a dream catcher, maybe.
Yeah. So a lot of that stuff, weirdly. And you said before, this is a big hitter, because you said before, how do you not notice that your dentures are missing? Because a really big hitter of what's left in hotel rooms, prosthetic limbs.
Prosthetic limbs.
Prosthetic limbs. So a bunch of people have left, fake legs, fake arms, and left it in the hotel, haven't realised, or maybe they just don't want them anymore.
Yeah.
Who knows?
Well, look, okay, with the dentures, I can see maybe you have like 2 pairs, right? Maybe you have different pairs. So maybe, yes, you could leave and have different teeth in and not realise. But I don't think there's that many people with multiple of the same prosthetic limb, right?
Yeah.
So
How do you not realise? It's like, I didn't realise I just had to crawl to the taxi at the front of my hotel because I left my 2 legs up in the hotel room.
You go to throw your car keys, like, my leg's left in the hotel.
This one here as well, though, glass eye.
Another one that's, I feel like you would feel that that's not in.
Oh, and surely someone would tell you. Surely the concierge is like, hey, mate, pat you on the back. Look, you are missing an eye. I feel like it's my duty to let you know as hotel care.
Unless you've got the Kanye West sunglasses on, blocking everyone out.
Got a big visor.
Callum, if I had to ask you, what do you think the sexiest accent is on the planet? What would you say?
Klingon. For all the sci-fi nerds out there. Nah, I'd probably crack on one of the stereotypes and say French, but I also do like a little bit of South American, maybe Colombian or something.
Oh, okay. Yeah. All right. Well, a new survey has come out and revealed what the sexiest accent is in the entire world.
Wow, okay. So do you know what this is based on? Is it just, survey stats?
Just survey stats, what people have ticked.
Cool.
So the last country to have the top spot was actually France.
Right.
The French accent was considered the sexiest, which I don't get.
Really?
I think it's a rough language.
It has a little bit of harshness to it, but it's still romantic and leans towards the romantic language. But I get what you mean, that it has a little bit of harshness. Still not as harsh as something like German, though, which is completely abrupt.
Actually, fun fact, the German accent was voted the most direct language in this survey.
There you go. Yeah.
Yes, but no, the number one most sexiest accent in the world has been voted, and it is the Italian accent.
Hey!
It has scored the title of most attractive by combining the votes of which languages were seen as most sexy, most romantic, and most passionate from international respondents. And of course, yes, booting off French from the top spot.
What I have read about the Italian language and why it's so attractive is that it has the musical qualities to it, that it kind of goes up and down in pitch and it sounds kind of nice to listen to.
Yeah, it has certain phonetic features, they say, such as all the rolling of the R.
Yeah.
Is a big one. And yes, it does have this musical kind of quality to it, which can be regarded as charming or attractive and lure people in, kind of like a siren.
Okay, so the Italians are mermaids.
Stay away.
Is what you're saying.
Don't go to Venice.
Yeah. Well, there you go. Yeah, I would pick that. I mean, it does seem reasonable to say, hey, French was the top spot and that Italian and French are in the top 2. They are most definitely the romantic languages. Like I said, though, weird to see South America not get a spin. Spanish.
Yes, well, British English was voted as most polite.
Polite, there you go.
There you go. But you know what? I don't know. I'm not convinced. I reckon there are better accents out there than the Italian or the French.
Well, I mean, if we're looking at European countries, there's so many out there that probably go a little bit unnoticed.
Yeah.
Everyone thinks of those big hitters, but what about your small little ones out there? Your Portuguese and, all the other ones. What about the Irish accent? The Irish accent in the UK. A lot of people do like the Irish. I know you don't. A lot of people do find the Irish accent flattering. A lot of people do, 100%.
I don't know if I would say the Irish accent is the sexiest accent going out there.
They do. It's quirky and people enjoy it.
I want to hear from you, Adelaide. What's your favourite accent? What is, or you could even go down the route of what do you think the sexiest accent should be? We're going to go to Ebby in Gulfview Heights. Ebby, good morning to you. What's your favourite accent?
Good morning, boys. I think Russian would be the coolest accent, especially when a Russian person speaks in English, it even gets cooler.
Russian. Okay, yeah, interesting one. I did say before, there's a lot of unnoticed European accents that don't get enough of a spin. What is it about the Russian accent that you find so sexy?
Well, they slide the word and they take they make it sound longer, and it sounds very cool when they do that.
Yeah. Well, cool. Rasputin, classic example. He was a bit of a lady killer, wasn't he, Abby?
Yes, exactly.
Hey, Abby, before we let you go, do you reckon you could give us a little taste of a Russian accent?
Well, I'm not Russian, but I learned English in Australia, and I had Russian classmates, and they used to speak their language. I don't know what the word was, but they used to pronounce it, and it was like prush, and they used to make it sound very long, rather than very pronouncing it very quickly. Or even in English, when they speak, they if they want to say this is, I don't know, metro, we say this is the metro. They take the word a lot,
drag it out,
and it sounds very cool.
Metro.
Don't you start doing it.
I will start using that at the bar when I pick up.
Hey, thanks for getting involved, Abby. We appreciate it, mate.
No worries. Cheers.
Hey, we've got Vanessa from Evanston on the line. Vanessa, good morning. What's your favourite accent?
Morning. The Aussie accent?
The Aussie. Okay,
Aussie.
so you're going homegrown. What is it about the Aussie accent that is so attractive?
I don't know. I've travelled so much, and I think it's always the Aussie accent that just sticks out to me. And
well, you know what's interesting, Vanessa? When I went overseas, I hadn't seen many Australians for a while. There are a few hostels where they just weren't there, and then I bumped into this one girl after weeks in, and I overheard her just be like, I'm a dart," and I was like. Usually it wouldn't romanticize me, but here after not seeing an Australian for a while and then hearing that, I was like, damn, we could elope. This girl could be the one.
Exactly.
Yeah, you miss it. You do miss it if you haven't heard it in a while.
Vanessa, when
you just do like a movie. Sorry.
Vanessa, can you give us your most Australian accent?
Oh, good day, mate. I don't know.
Good on you. Thanks so much for getting involved. We appreciate it.
We've got Alex in Lower Mitcham. Tell us, Alex, what is the most attractive accent?
All right, boys. It's more a bit of a story. So when I met my missus, there's a running joke with all of the friendship group that they basically got the UN as their partners.
The UN?
There's a couple of English in there. There's a Swiss French bloke in there, an American. There's a couple of Aussies, but yeah, we've got a bit of a mix of everyone, to be honest with you.
Yeah. So they've got a bit of variety there. I guess, they've got the whole batch, don't they?
It's spice of life, isn't it?
Yeah, that's it.
So, Alex, what's your favourite accent out of the whole lot?
It's got to be English, isn't it?
English, all right.
It's got to work. One thing I would say, though, I don't understand how that got voted most polite.
Polite.
Well,
yeah, I think it's like the Antiques Roadshow kind of vibe.
I suppose it's what region you're from, isn't it?
Tea and biscuits. Yeah, I guess there's impolite Englishmen out there, eh?
Quite a few.
Time for a quick Grammys recap, and we're going to go through some of the highlights really quick, which include Taylor Swift making history, being the first artist ever to win Best Album 4 times with her album Midnight. Miley Cyrus won Best Record with her song Flowers. Billie Eilish wins Song of the Year with What Was I Made For. Killer Mike wins Rap Album of the Year, but he wasn't there to accept it because less than an hour before the Grammys kicked off, he got arrested.
Yep.
Not sure why as of yet. And then one of Fresh favourites, Fred again, wins Dance / Electronic Album of the Year with Actual Life 3.
Hey, how good. I mean, like you said, Fresh favourite right there. We also had Best Pop Dance Recording, which saw a few Fresh favourites go head-to-head, Tom, as well.
Yes.
We had Troye Sivan with Rush in the mix there. We had Calvin Harris and Ellie Goulding with Miracle. And then Kylie Minogue with Padam Padam, which won that Best Pop Dance Recording as well. So congratulations to her,
yes,
representing Australia right there.
Plenty more other winners as well. Congratulations to everyone who won an award. But, geez, there was so much more more besides the awards that went down on this night?
Oh, 100%. I guess you can't have the Grammys without a few little controversies. Like you said, Killer Mike being detained.
Yes.
One of the more bizarre ones. But of course, it saw Jay-Z hopping up on stage as well. And he gave a little speech about his wife, beloved wife, Beyonce.
I don't want to embarrass this young lady, but she has more Grammys than everyone and never won Album of the Year. So even by your own metrics, that doesn't work.
So he is right. So if you look at the stats, Beyonce has been nominated for 88 Grammy Awards and won 33 of them.
Jeez. But she's never won Album of the Year.
She's never won Album of the Year, which is bizarre. But you know what's funny as well? She's really racking up her supporters that are willing to get on stage and help her out. I mean, she's got her husband Jay-Z doing that. Yeah. In 2017, you had Adele getting up on stage when she won Best Album of the Year and said it should have gone to Beyonce.
Wow.
And then, of course, you had Kanye back in the day. So she's got 3 different incidences of people being like, come on, give her a break. Give her the Album of the Year.
Jeez, she really can't catch a break, can she? Hey, that's not all. That's not all the crazy things that happened either, because when Taylor Swift won the 4th Album of the Year, first person ever to do it somehow.
Well, you know what's funny about that as well? When she was sitting at 3 Albums of the Year before she won the 4th last night, the only other people that were on 3 albums, best albums collectively, was Stevie Wonder,
right,
Paul Simon, and Frank Sinatra.
And I can tell you who's the worst artist out of those 4.
Yeah, literally.
No, but Celine Dion made a special appearance, and she was the one to present Album of the Year trophy. And when she announced Taylor Swift as the winner, you know, there was this big applause. Everyone's going, no. Taylor Swift goes up to accept her award, hugs everyone on the stage, snubbed Celine Dion. Celine didn't get a hug from her.
Yeah,
she hugged
why?
everyone around her, just not Celine. It hasn't come out as to why. It's only people noticing it and making news out of it at the moment.
Jeez, between Killer Mike and, you know, Taylor Swift snubbing Celine Dion, there's some really hot-headed personalities in there.
Yeah, really. Plenty of egos going around at the Grammys, hey?
When you're telling a bad joke, you're never thinking, geez, this could be life-threatening, are you?
No, not usually.
Not usually, you know.
Sometimes.
The worst that can happen is everyone goes a bit silent. There might be an echo tap of the mic, maybe a grasshopper about, but, you know, nothing too much. But this is not the case for one of the producers of the Kyle and Jackie O show over in Sydney. He was over at a pub in the Clovelly Hotel in the Sydney suburbs, and he's bumped into Jacob Elordi, obviously now a Hollywood famous actor. He's starred in Saltburn, the hit movie on Prime right now.
Yeah,
and
he's in all those Netflix movies, The Kissing Booth. He played Elvis, actually, in the movie Priscilla.
Yep. And also, what is he in? Euphoria.
Euphoria, yeah, that's probably one of the bigger ones too.
That was one of the huge ones he started off as. So he's made quite a name for himself, and he's been in one of the pubs in Sydney, probably doing, you know, press stuff around the country. But one of the producers of Kyle and Jackie O has bumped into him there and is taking the opportunity to think, hey, I can, you know, spice up the show. I can probably bring this back to work. I'm going to ask him a pretty funny question. I'm going to make a little bit of a joke and record it so I can use it on the show, but it has backfired.
Oh, backfired big time. We have got the audio here. It's not the best audio because it's from within a pub, but here it is.
Excuse me, Jacob. I just want to say hi. I'm from the Kyle and Jackie O show.
Oh, what up, man?
Really random, but could I give you this? Jackie wants a birthday present.
Jacob Elordi's bath.
She's a big fan of the movie.
What am I supposed to do? Just put
We're giving it, and you can send it to the studio.
You're kidding.
No, seriously. For Jackie O.
What is that? Are you filming?
Yeah.
Can you not, man?
Can I give you that?
No, I don't know right now.
Oh, no worries.
So he's asked for a bit of Jacob Elordi's bathwater, which is a reference to a bit in Saltburn, where the bathwater is a bit contaminated with something pretty personal.
Yes, we don't need to go into it. But if you've seen the movie Saltburn, you know what it's on about.
Yeah, of course. So pretty out there joke, and obviously wants it delivered to Jackie O, but Elordi has taken not so kindly to this remark.
Yeah.
And what the incident...
It's a pretty disgusting request.
It's a pretty disturbing joke, really.
Yeah.
And,
I mean, it's a pretty disturbing movie.
Yeah.
So to bring it into real life is,
keep it fiction.
Keep
that fiction.
Absolutely.
Doesn't need to be a doco
Nah.
where it involves some big radio personalities and having a glass of it in the studio. But, of course, it's resulted in a confrontation where Elordi has said, hey, can you stop filming that? And then the producer has turned around and said, I refuse to delete the video because it's the only bit of evidence I have right now that you're, you know, harassing me. And that, of course, would infuriate Elordi even more.
Yes.
So then it's resulted in him being pushed up against the wall, hands on the throat, and then Elordi had 2 sidekicks by him. So he's got two almost like henchman dudes with him as well that cornered him into the wall. So it turned into this big confrontation. There were no injuries, thankfully, but yeah,
no
it was
charges
just,
laid either.
No, and it's just turned into a big gossip round. I think around Australia is the maximum punishment for all of this. But it's just a little bit awkward, and everyone's talking about it.
I mean, he does work for Carl Sanderlands. There's got to be some sort of prerequisite that you've got to be a bit of an arsehole to work there, right?
100%. That you got to. It probably is in your, in your contract to go out and cause a little bit of a ruckus and do this sort of stuff for material.
But what we want to do is open up the phone lines here. We want to hear, Adelaide, what's the worst joke you've heard, or what's the worst joke you've known? Now, obviously we're calling all dads for their dad jokes, but you don't have to be a dad. You don't even have to be a bloke to tell a dad joke. You can be absolutely anyone. We want to hear all your terrible jokes. We're going to go straight into things. We got Josh in Brighton. Josh, mate, good morning. How are you?
Good. How are you guys?
Very good.
Yeah, very well, mate. Now, what's the worst joke you've heard, Josh?
All right. So what do you get when you cross a rabbit?
What?
Well, that's it.
Uh-oh. We've lost Josh.
Yeah, we cut him off. We got boy, got that one. We got Leah in Kensington Park. Leah, can you tell us what is the terrible joke?
Okay, so it's what do you call a fly without wings?
What?
A walk.
Who told you that one?
We're having issues with our phone lines. We've lost her as well.
You're gonna cut her off.
I'm bloody ticked off.
Lyman Mongrel.
Oh, jeez, it's ticked off, Tom. Yes, the reason I'm ticked off today's category, we're talking about bloody influencers.
Everyone get in their doomsday bunkers. It's ticked off, Tom. Everyone hide. Everyone get in shelter. So, influencers. I feel like yesterday you had a small little crack at influencers. There was a little one-liner that slipped through. I didn't realise that was preemptive to what would come today, a whole segment about it.
Neither did I until I read this article. But influencers, right, they'll do anything to shock people and catapult themselves into the limelight for their 15 minutes of fame.
Yep.
They're just the kind of bottom feeder that thrives on attention. And it shows because they're always doing the dumbest crap.
Yeah. So who is in question today? Who's in the firing line?
Yeah, the latest influencer is a TikTok couple. They're taking the cake for me. The TikTok account comes under the name Christy Fritz. And she has had her video viewed more than 46 million times.
Okay.
It's to do with her shoe collection, right?
Yep.
Now, this is a shoe collection that's worth around $20,000.
Sure, pretty huge up there.
And they have decided to mutilate every single one of their sneakers.
Okay, so are they putting a knife to the sneaker, just completely wrecking them? How are they mutilating them?
They're taking the soles off of them so they can walk barefoot everywhere.
Oh.
So they're people that have decided they want to wear... walking barefoot means the world to them so they can be connected to the Earth's energy or some crap like that.
I highly doubt it. There's no doubt in my mind that it's bullcrap. And there's 100% an influencer doesn't want to be connected to the Earth. They're the most fabricated, least down-to-earth people that you could ever meet.
They're so far up their own behind that I'm surprised they're even walking barefoot. But yes, no, they've decided to cut the soles off of all their shoes because some shops and stuff don't like them walking around bare feet. So they've taken the soles off. They've created this strange system where they clip their toenails into the front of the shoe so the shoe stays down and doesn't flop everywhere like a clown shoe. But now they just, walk around barefoot with the soles of their feet taken off. And so I thought, you know what? I better do some research quickly, find out, are there benefits of walking around barefoot? And there are some scientific benefits, right? It can improve your foot arch, give you less chance of developing flat feet. Now, these people, they're probably in their, mid-20s to late 20s. I don't think there are any sort of harm or risk of developing flat feet by now. It can also strengthen muscles and ligaments of the feet and leg and maintain the normal range of motion around the ankle and feet and decrease stress on the ankle, knee and hip.
What are these people, podiatry experts?
Yes.
100% not. And what I would do is I would befriend one of these influencers and I would say, let's go for a walk. And I'd be like, you guys don't mind going down the gravel path here?
Yeah.
Like, how would you like to go through the thorny bush? Just take them through the most unpleasant
Let's
route
walk through
you
the
could do.
parklands. Look for those little spiky balls.
I would love to go to the beach with them because, they'd be all high and
On a
mighty
real
with
hot day
with their
too.
shoes. As soon as they get on that hot gravel as they're coming off the sand, they're done for.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, the other thing is, yes, there are benefits to walking around barefoot. It doesn't mean you have to always be barefoot.
Nah, and why disguise it as well? If you actually are going to do barefoot, just do it. I mean, you can go through a shopping centre. I don't think people are going to hate you any less.
They've basically cost themselves $20,000 just for a quick, minute of fame here.
Cut out some Vans.
Yeah.
Just get a cheap pair of shoes and cut out the soles.
Yeah, they said walking barefoot means the world to us. It's the benefits are priceless.
Oh, look, it'll be a
I'll
phase.
put a price
it'll
on
be
it.
a phase for a month.
$20,000 is the price, you bloody idiots.
Love this podcast? Support it and sponsor today. Simply head to AuscastNetwork.com for details.